With this movie, we begin to look at CSS color values. Now, before we can actually take a look at the different ways we can set color values with CSS, we may find it helpful to address what range of colors we should try to use. The issue that this pertains to is the web-safe color palette, and whether we should be limiting our color usage to those available 216 web-safe colors. The web-safe color palette comes from the beginning of the graphical web, and during that time, people had monitors and graphics cards that could not display more than 256 different colors, and only 216 of those colors would reliably be displayed across different platforms. As time has progressed, this limitation isn't so much of an issue anymore, and most will say it doesn't matter all that much. This is because all but some of the oldest computers can view at least 16,000 colors, if not 16.7 million different colors. So at this point, you are more or less free to use whatever colors you want. Just be aware that there are a lot of factors that determine how the end user will see the colors that you intend for a design. For example, at this time, there is no mechanism in place for color management on the web. Essentially, color management is a process that you can use to control how colors are being represented on different devices. Color management workflows are established to make sure that what you see on your screen is a reliable representation, so that as the design is worked on different machines, the same colors are more or less being seen. And then once that's output to a print device, the colors that we end up seeing again will match up. So there's no current color management process that's set up to handle color management for the web. Now, color profiles can be embedded in some files, but browsers in general can't read that information, and even if they could, most users do not have their monitors calibrated. Another factor that will contribute to the difference of display of our designs and the perception of color is the difference between the different platforms. One of the biggest differences between platforms is the various hardware settings that are available. For example, colors on the Mac tend to appear more vibrant and brighter because the gamma point is set differently from standard Windows-based PCs, which makes colors appear a little darker and subsequently a little duller. So that's really the reality of the situation. We're still going to have some issues related to how our colors will display on our end users' computers, but for the most part, we're able to use the different colors that we want from our color spectrum. So really, the upshot of all of this is that we are pretty much free to use any of the 16.7 million different colors that are available to us in the RGB color spectrum. So the real question at this point is, how do you want to represent those color values? And it truly is a matter of personal preference or a matter of what the team has decided to use, because we're going to have access to more or less the full RGB color spectrum, and that's that 16.7 million different colors. The only exception is with our color names, because our color names are going to be a little bit more limited in how those end up being implemented. So we're going to have our three main methods: color names, RGB color, and hexadecimal. The following movies will cover these methods.